I love sharing the teams that I'm currently using, and now that I'm probably not going to be changing my team between now all the way up to the release of Team of the Season, I wanted to show you my 3 million coin team that I'm currently using. And let me tell you straight away, it's been by far the best team that I've ever used. But before we do actually get into today's video, if you are looking to build a similar team to what I've put together, but unfortunately you just don't have enough coins, then there is no better place than Mule Factory. Head over there to get yourself some cheap and fast FIFA 22 coins, completely reliable, and if you use Fnatic 5 at checkout, you'll also get yourself a 5% discount. Link can be found in the description down below. Getting back into the video, the team that I've put together costs just over 3 million coins if you was to build it yourself and had nothing already within the club. Now this isn't my first 3 million coin team that I've shown on this channel. We did one just after Black Friday, and that team was fantastic. I really enjoyed playing with it, but the team, especially when looking back now, it certainly doesn't cost 3 million. That team included Lloris, Hakimi, Van Dijk, Varane, Mendy, Ronaldo, Messi, Mbappe, Ballack, 85 rated Vinicius, and N'Golo Kante. The difference is that players back then was a lot more expensive compared to what they are now. Just as an example, back then I had to buy Ronaldo at 900,000 coins, whereas now he's less than 200. So even though both of these teams are 3 million coins, you can actually get a lot more for your coins compared to what you was able to do back then. This has led to there being quite a lot more special cards, as you will soon see. But actually getting into today's team, starting off in defense, we are using Team of the Year Donnarumma, Team of the Year Hakimi, Kimpembe, Flashback Varane, and honorable mentions Luke Shaw. Already, this is a very expensive defense. And what's crazy is with these expensive and high rated players, still we are using Kimpembe. I know a lot of people are sick of seeing him within squad builders such as this, but he's in there for a reason. He's in there because he's a great player. For just 5,000 coins, he's able to do pretty much everything else that these higher and more expensive players are able to do. We should also take a bit of time to talk about Donnarumma. I never wanted to ever use him, but because I did manage to pack him during Team of the Year, I thought, why not? Let's give him a try. And the reason that I didn't want to use him wasn't anything to do with Donnarumma as a player, it was actually just because every time that I've used his rare gold card within FIFA 22, he's always screwed me over. There's actually live streams at the beginning of FIFA where I did go and use Donnarumma within my teams, and the amount of mistakes that would happen of him punching it into the back of his net after a corner was actually ridiculous. Now other people have been saying that he's a great goalkeeper to have, but I have not trusted him with the amount of mistakes that has happened. But with his Team of the Year card, it's extremely weird because he makes saves that he probably shouldn't, but then all of a sudden makes a mistake, which at the same time he probably shouldn't. He seems to be weak within corners where he does just either miss the ball and it leads to mistakes in which you're seeing on screen, or there's other instances where he just goes and puts it out for another corner when he could very easily punch it in the complete opposite direction. But as for one-on-ones, he seems like a great goalkeeper, so I did want to take some time to actually talk about him. With everyone else, they play exactly like you expect them to play. Hakimi's absolutely amazing, always try to get him to go forward. Varane is a great solid defender, loved his normal rare gold card, and now just love his flashback card. And Luke Shaw, not a player that I've ever used before, but his honorable mentions card has been a lot of fun and has been a good player. I was originally using Mendy in this position, which is very similar to Kimpembe, a player which probably shouldn't be used at this point in FIFA, but still is a great player to use. Now moving on to the midfield, we have got Mbappe, Kante, and icon Socrates. In that previous 3 million squad where I did have Mbappe and Kante, well, I said that they're the best players that I've used, and that's why we've actually brought them back. Back when that 3 million squad was active, Mbappe was about 1.1 to 1.2 million coins, is now 700k, and Kante was around 5 to 600k, and now he's around 100. The only reason I got rid of them in the first place was because I knew that they were going to drop massively over the coming months, which they did. So now it's time where I'll buy them back and probably hold them for the rest of FIFA 22. As for Socrates, I wasn't initially going out to buy someone like this. I never actually thought about using him within my team, but I did do an icon upgrade pack where I got a mid icon and Socrates was that player. The fact that he was untradeable, I just decided that I was going to use him to try him out, but then I realized that he fits perfectly for chemistry within a team because obviously icons get links to everyone, but also he's a great player. He's a extremely well-rounded in everything apart from defending, but he's also 6'4", which makes him great as an aerial threat. Always get worried with Kante being the size in which he is that he's always going to be outjumped, but having someone such as Socrates beside him has helped things quite dramatically. It seems like I'm never really getting outjumped when using a player like this. And then finally, for our attack, we have then got Messi, FUT hero Di Natale, and an honorable mentions Insigne. Yet again, two of these players we have used in previous squads, being FUT hero Di Natale, and we even mentioned him within a previous video where I said that he was one of my favorite players to use within FIFA 22. Another player on that list and was also included within that previous 3 million squad was Messi. Now they're finally back into the team and we're trying to bring everything together to create one of the best teams that we've ever put together. Insigne wasn't a player that I initially used. In fact, you will see on the bench that I do have Chiesa, and Chiesa was originally within Socrates' position, but I just felt like Socrates was doing so much better, so I had to take Chiesa out, but I left Insigne in there just for that chemistry link with Di Natale. Now this team is fairly expensive. Team leader Donnarumma is 162,000 coins, team leader Hakimi is 620,000 coins, Kimpembe is 5,000 coins on the cheaper side, Flashback Varane is 1 million coins if you have none of the players to actually use for that SBC. Honorable mentions Luke Shaw was free because he came from objectives, Mbappe is about 700,000 coins, Kante is about 100k, Icon Socrates is 240k, Messi is 180k, FUT hero Di Natale is 180k, and honorable mentions Insigne is about 40k. In total, adding everything up, it's 3.2 million coins. And I should say that with this team, even though we're starting in a 4-3-3 formation, this is just for chemistry. Once we get into game, I like to switch it up. So these are the custom tactics that I'm using for this team. I have the tactics to be defensive style, pressure on heavy touch, width to be 40, depth to be 45, build up play to be fast build up, chance creation is forward runs, width is 65, players in a box 4, corners 2, and free kicks 2. I don't change this across any of my different formations that I use. I just like having different players within different positions. And the main formation I go to is the 4-3-2-1, where I look to have team leader Donnarumma in net. That's not changing. Defense is also not changing with Hakimi, Kimpembe, Varane, and honorable mentions Luke Shaw. But in the midfield, this is where things start to change just very slightly. I have Insigne as my right centre mid, I have Kante right in the middle, and I have Socrates as my left centre mid. As for my three forwards, at right forward I have Messi, as my striker Di Natale, and then as my left forward I have Mbappe. Really the only change is Insigne and then Mbappe. With instructions, my whole defense has stay back whilst attacking, except for Hakimi, who I set as join the attack. Socrates is default in everything, with everything being the basic. Kante I have stay back whilst attacking, whilst also covering the center. Insigne is on free roam. He can honestly do whatever he wants. He's just a great player on the ball, but I don't really care about him getting back into defense. And then finally for Messi, Di Natale, and Mbappe, they all have the exact same instructions, which is getting behind but also stay forward. These front three are a deadly force to actually be dealing with. In all honesty, I think that these may be the exact same custom tactics as what I had with that previous 3 million coin team. It just works for me. The times when it doesn't work for me, I just always put it down to me playing bad, and 99% of the time that is the case. There is other formations which occasionally I do switch to, this being the 4-2-2-2, the 4-3-1-2, or the 4-1-2-1-2, but I don't change to them that often. At the start of every single game, I go to the 4-3-2-1 because that always works for me. The only reason for me to go to those other formations is if my opponent is just completely destroying me. But you can easily see that with this team, despite it costing 3 million coins, it is so much better and looks so much better than what we had for 3 million coins back in November. This is why I always advise to sell your teams before a massive promo, but not just the week before like most people do. With FIFA nowadays, because there is so many people talking about the latest news and latest updates coming to FIFA 22, that you need to be way ahead of everyone else. I haven't done a crazy amount of trading since November all the way to now. It's mainly just been selling my team, storing packs, and doing an odd few trading methods here and there. Most of the players have dropped in value, but because I sell them just before the big drop, it means that I can buy them back at a fraction of their price and still have some coins left over. That's exactly what I did to eventually push to this team. I also got very lucky because with the packs that I did save, which was around 200 packs for Team of the Year, I did manage to go and pack Team of the Year Donnarumma, but I also managed to go and get quite a few honorable mentions. On stream, I managed to pack the likes of Mendy, Bonucci, Chiesa, and also got about 4 or 5 Benzemas. Those 4 or 5 Benzemas, all of them were untradeable. I kept one of them, but every other time that I packed another one, I just used them for that Varane SBC, which made things considerably cheaper. And as things currently stand, Varane is the most expensive player, being at 1 million coins. That's a third of the price for the whole team. But he is definitely worth every single penny in my opinion. Anyway guys, here is my new 3 million coin team, and I'll be using this between now all the way up to around team of the season, where hopefully I can build up my coin balance and get some other types of players which I can definitely use on my bench, but more than anything build up that coin balance so that I can then use those coins to go and buy team of the season players. If you do have any questions about anything, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going to see ya.